Hey, how's it going, everybody, on this fine Thursday morning? At least Thursday morning for me. When you guys see this video, it'll probably be more about the afternoon. But it is Thursday, which means we've got a Thursday night matchup, guys. And tonight we've got the Vikings playing away against the LA Chargers. Not as good as the last couple weeks of matchups. We had last 3 weeks were all three division matchups. My personal opinion, I think they should always be divisional matchups. But either way, cross conference tonight, NFC traveling to the AFC. And, well, these guys kind of are both looking for a win. Vikings come in at 3-3, and the Chargers are 4-3 after starting 3-0 and now winning only one out of the last 4 games. Looking to make it right here. But real quick, before we get into this, let's talk about what they did last week. Vikings were at home against the Eagles. They ended up losing that game. I believe it was 26-22. Give you the final real quick in 1 second. Yeah, we got 28-22 was the final. It was a pretty close game if you actually watched it. There definitely was a good chance that the Vikings could win that game, which, shows a lot of promise because the Eagles, they still are the pretty good team, the reigning Super Bowl champions. And some people doubt the Eagles, and I don't know. I might put myself sometimes in that category. But other than that, they got the roster to look, to win games, so I'm not all that too concerned about them. But we're talking about the Vikings. They look pretty good. Wentz just missed some key throws down the line. I mean, Justin Jefferson, I know that guy's got to be getting frustrated because he is open. I mean, he's still having a good season, but I mean, if you watch the tape, he's open, and Wentz is just missing him left, right, and center. But on the other hand, the Chargers were at home as well against another great team, the Indianapolis Colts, which I still can't believe that the Colts are this good. 38-24 was the final, and it wasn't even that close, guys. There was some garbage time stuff by Herbert. Herbert had a career high, 420 yards, and Orlando Gadsden, their fifth-round pick this year for tight end, had 164 yards. So, even though they had that loss, there's potentially some bright spots you can look at for the Chargers, but we're going to move into the injury reports for these guys. We'll start with the Chargers because we're just talking about them. The Chargers only have one guy completely out for start of the game as of now, as 11 o'clock on the dot Eastern Standard Time. It is Hassan Haskins. Wow, their running back room is super, super light. For those who not know, Omari and Hampton, their first-round pick this year, he's on IR, should return maybe like 4 to 5 weeks, I think, maybe a little bit longer. Najee Harris, their offseason acquisition, he's out for the season. Hassan Haskins would be their third-string running back, and now he is completely out with a hamstring injury, which means Vidal is their running back, he's been on the team for a little bit now. He's a pretty solid guy. But just in general, that matchup is weak. And last week against the Colts, the Chargers only had, I think it was 31 rushing yards, and it was only Justin Herbert. So they're looking to bounce back in that, but we'll get into some more keys to the game later on. And for the Vikings, keeping it with the Chargers, Joe Alt was limited in practice all week, their star left tackle from last year's draft. Hopefully that's a start for him. They might not be pushing it. Reports are kind of iffy if he's going to start or not. I think they might give him the start, but at the same time, I don't know. The Vikings have a pretty good defensive front, so we'll see what Harbaugh and the coach, the trainers decide to do with him. But he was limited. Another kind of key guy, Trey Pipkins, who's replacing their I don't know if you say all-pro, but when he's healthy, pretty much all-pro. Right tackle, Rashawn Slater. Pipkins was also limited in practice with a knee injury. I don't know. Same kind of thing. He's kind of a wash if he's going to start or not. But for the Vikings, everyone's worried about J.J. McCarthy. I kind of was saying Carson Wentz is going to start because that's what the reports are saying. It's looking like next week is the week that we're going to see J.J. McCarthy play. He's got that high, I think it's left ankle sprain. He was limited in practice all week. So, but all the reports are saying week 9 is really when he's going to be playing. So don't expect him to start. But hey, it'd be pretty cool to see him. So I'm hoping that the young man from Michigan gets a chance to play. But if not, he'll be playing week 9 against the Lions. So, bit of a gauntlet, or just a tough game to come back to. But some other injuries for the Vikings: C.J. Ham and Andrew Van Ginkel are officially out for the game. Ginkel was limited in practice with a neck injury. I think they're just kind of playing it safe there because he is. I don't know. I'd like to say he's the heart of that defense. So a little bit, definitely a loss for them. And then on the other offensive side of the ball, Aaron Jones was limited in practice. He's questionable with the hamstring. If I had to guess, he's not going to be playing. And their star tackles, right and left tackle, Christian Darrisaw and Brian O'Neill, are also questionable, both with knee injuries. Christian Darrisaw did not play at all in practice this week, and Brian O'Neill only played yesterday limitedly. So I would be shocked to see Christian Darrisaw back. Maybe a long shot to see Brian O'Neill, but looking like there's going to be backup tackles again for the Vikings. But let's move into this matchup. One of the things that I wanted to get in is two keys to the game for both teams, because I really do think it's actually, on paper, a pretty good matchup. These are both teams that had aspirations for the playoffs to start the year. Both have pretty good rosters. Injuries have definitely hurt them pretty darn hard. Both have had some pretty good tackle injuries. Actually, both their starting four combined, are all out and missed a lot of games. But some keys for the Vikings. It all kind of starts with Jordan Mason getting that run game going, because that opens up Carson Wentz to just make easy passes. I mean, if you watch him, he can hit the deep ball from time to time, but he's been struggling to hit Jettis, especially last game against the Eagles, and they do have a pretty formidable front four. But even then, there's some ones you would really like to see him hit, especially as long as a big veteran like he is. But it all starts with Jordan Mason, just getting him going, making, setting up the play action and all that good stuff. And another thing is, don't let the defense go crazy. Like, keep the ball. The LA has a pretty formidable defense themselves. They're both. These are both defensive teams as of now. You'd like to think they're offensive teams, but with the injuries, they definitely are defensive teams in this 2025 year. You just want to take care of the ball. Don't give LA's defense any chances to jump onto the ball and make any sudden changes of the game. You just really want to be steady. Carson Wentz, don't be Superman. Trust in your guys. Kevin O'Connell, just keep it simple. I think you have a strong chance of beating LA. And for LA, well, honestly, both these teams have pretty similar needs because their defense is strong. And for LA, it's don't turn the ball over, because that Vikings defense, once they get one turnover, they smell blood in the water, and they can just pop off for like 3 or 4 forced fumbles or something crazy. I mean, anyone who watched that Bengals game, I think it was week 4, Bengals-Vikings game, I mean, there was, 3 turnovers and 4 plays? I mean, that's ridiculous. This defense is just hunting for the ball all the time. And another key is you got to get a run game going. You have to. I mean, this is not an option for the Chargers. You cannot have Herbo being hero ball all game long, or else he's going to get hurt. He can't be your leading rusher with only 31 yards. You guys got to make sure you get Vidal involved, and that's what Harbaugh loves to do. He loves to run the ball as much as he can. He's just had a lot of troubles with offensive line, and 3 of his starting 4 running backs are out. So that's a pretty hard ask, if you ask me, for the Chargers. But all that being said, I think we got a pretty good slate tonight. I don't think we're going to see anything all too crazy. I got a final score of LA Chargers winning at home 27-20, but honestly, I could see the Chargers kind of winning by a bit more, if you ask me. I think that they're going to get this run game a little bit more situated. And this offense, they got talent. I mean, they got pretty much all their wide receivers starting healthy. They got a great wide receiver 1, 2, and 3. You got, Arando Gadsden from last week, the rookie tight end. He had a really good game. So a lot to build off. It just really depends. Can you get Vidal going down the field? And I think knowing Jim Hill's going to figure it out. But Vikings still have a chance in this game. But like I said, my final is going to be 27-20 LA. Let me know what you guys think down below. Maybe you guys have the Vikings winning. Maybe not. Let me know your final scores down below. And have a great Thursday.